Welcome! So this video is going to be a pretty niche comparison between the, I think somewhat new Kasha Gloss Shot lip gloss, and I have the shade O2 Milk Tea. And I got this as a 100-point perk reward recently, and it just really reminded me of the Tower 28 glosses. I think for a couple of reasons. One, the packaging is, it's got a similar aesthetic, this like clear acrylic component where you can kind of see the twisties and the lip gloss inside. Nothing too crazy, but they're definitely reminiscent of each other. I think that the milky formulation inside also kind of associated itself together in my mind. I know that, a creamy lip gloss is nothing revolutionary, but nevertheless, the milky line of this Tower 28 gloss definitely had like a moment in the beauty space of being very popular. I still really like it. So I figured that it was hopefully well known / ubiquitous enough that it serves as a good point of comparison. I also don't have the color O, but I feel like that would have been pretty much a very similar matchup to this color in Milk Tea. This color I have is Cashew. And also I find that both the brands seem to cater towards a similar price point and niche, where the niche is like this very dewy, easy on the go, pretty like youthful, hip vibe. So between all of these, I kind of just want to compare them very quickly. They're pretty different as far as lip glosses go. I don't think there's like a crazy amount to say about lip glosses, so let me just go ahead and put these on, starting with the Tower 28 lip gloss. I really like how thin and creamy this product is. It does have quite a bit of slip to it. I love that the color Cashew just adds a little bit of warmth, so if my eye look is feeling warm or if I'm very bronzy that day, this is perfect to kind of tie it all together. The formula is very, very conditioning, very, very slippy, almost too much so. I feel like if I apply a lot, it kind of feels like it can kind of slip everywhere, especially kind of like between where my lip becomes the inside of my mouth. So usually I apply a pretty thin layer all over personally, but nevertheless this is very shiny for how thin, and it's incredibly non-sticky, like the least sticky gloss I've ever felt. It almost veers on like more of a lip oil feel. It's got this really nice warm nutty smell to it. So the Kaja gloss shots will kind of, it like stringy gloopy ifies itself as it's coming out of the tube. I think it's because this doe foot is kind of shaped like a little scooper, so as it's coming out, and the formula itself is much more thick and sticky, as it's coming out it kind of scoops some product up and you come out with a bit of a string of product, which I really don't like because I feel like it starts to get messy around the opening of the tube a little bit. It's got a really nice cotton candy sort of scent to it. It feels very sweet, very nostalgic, but it's quite subtle, so I quite like the scent. There's a lot of product that comes out on the doe foot, again because it's got that kind of like scoopy shape to it. So if you're someone with big lips or really likes to layer on a lot, then this will be well suited for you. But for me and my small lips, it's kind of a lot, so I usually have to like carefully dab it on. This formula has a lot more stick and structure as opposed to the Tower 28. Again, it's still very nourishing, conditioning, feels great as a lip gloss. I really like the scent. I feel like it's very fun going on. But I just think that this falls in line with how a very traditional run-of-the-mill lip gloss feels. It kind of just reminds me of something that I could have grabbed from the drugstore as a kid. In the bottle, it looks like it would be this really pretty milky pink with maybe a little bit of pearl. You can see a little bit of shimmer in the tube, but on my lips it pretty much just looks like a clear lip gloss, which is fine and all, but it really doesn't add anything. They do have other colors, so maybe the other colors add a bit more, but I think the fact that this pink kind of just looks like clear is a little bit disappointing. If you're someone with even remotely pigmented lips, I think this will have the same effect. Here are the two swatched next to each other here. Nothing too crazy, but even though the Tower 28 is very sheer, its color is able to kind of add and transform a lip look a little bit, just with like a little sheer wash, and I find that very pleasant, whereas this is like, you know, it basically just adds shine, which is fine, but they do have a clear and it just seems a little redundant is all. Nothing crazy to say about this formula. I don't hate it, but again, the Tower 28 felt very unique in formulation because of how thin and non-sticky it was compared to most lip glosses, whereas this just kind of feels like something very, very run-of-the-mill. For the full size, it's $19 for about 0.14 ounces of product, whereas the full size of this is 0.13 fluid ounces for $15. So I personally would just go ahead and opt for this in the future. I don't think these formulas really stack up and compare against each other too much, but I figured maybe this video is helpful for someone out there shopping. So let me know if that's you, and thanks for watching.